scale of 1 to 10, how stupid am I? Because for the last 10 minutes, I've been streaming by myself. I did not click the go live button. So basically, I have seen streamers stream without a microphone. But I was streaming by myself for 10 minutes, and I was actually noticing that the chat isn't responding to me. And it's like, what's happening? Why is this taking place? And then I'm like, am I not live? Because like at first I thought maybe chat is trolling, maybe there's a delay, maybe there's something like that, you know. And then I realized, well, I did click the go live button, but I didn't click it properly. So there we go. I'm here, chat. I'm sorry. Like usually I am late, but not 20 minutes late. You know, maybe I should start leading a right-wing extremist organization. I heard that's what happens in certain groups. You have people that are hours late, usually because they don't feel well and stuff. So, yeah. I did decide to stream at the regular schedule because I overslept today. So, see, I also have excuses. I do need to start leading a right-wing organization. Alright, what do we start with? Do we start with Asmongold, or do we do a little bit of warm-up? Let's do a little bit of warm-up. I will tell you a news from Romania. This one is very interesting. So, I'm actually curious. How would you guys react if this happened in the United States? So, you have a lady which gets stopped at a traffic stop. Right, so the cops stop her car. They can do this in Romania. Like, they don't need a cause in order to stop someone with a vehicle. And they give her the drug test. This is actually new in Romania. We didn't used to have drug tests. We had alcohol tests. But now is the drug test. So she got the drug test. And apparently she passes. But legend has it that the cops were upset that she passed. Like, what do you mean you passed? So they started inspecting her car in order to give her any type of fine. And eventually they find something. Eventually, like, they find that she had, like, some stickers on your window. You're not supposed to have it. Like, the law in Romania says that you need to have visibility. And if they're, like, stickers, they prevent the visibility. Whatever. She calls her dad. She's upset. You know, it's like, Romania, the fines are quite excruciating. They're not a lot for Americans, but, like, when the minimum wage is below $1,000, like $500 of a fine is quite big. So she's calling her dad, and she's upset. It's like, I got a fine, blah, blah, blah. But the cops forget their printer on her car, right? Because, like, we live in the papers, please land, so bureaucracy is very important. And the cops actually have, like, a mobile printer. It's like a tiny little printer that they have, and they forgot it on top of her car. Now, what she did is that she found it and she threw it away at a trash can. To be honest, I would have probably did the same. Like, again, the cops just gave you a fine. They were dicks, right? It's their responsibility. What are you supposed to do with it? Like, am I supposed to go out of my way to the police station to return it? Are they going to pay for my gas and my time? Like, no, fuck that shit, right? And now, apparently, she's been held at the section for more than 24 hours for theft. And I'm like, there is no fucking way this is going to fly. This is not stealing, right? Like, the definition of theft is, at least according to the Romanian Penal Code, is taking the object belonging to another person with the purpose of making it your own. She didn't want to make it her own. She threw it away. So, yeah, I don't think this is a crime. I think, like, the cops are responsible. Like what? She was supposed to leave it there, I think. Like, that's what you should have done in order for it not to be a crime. You literally just take it off the car, right? And you put it on the ground and you leave it there. I don't know if it's abandoned property, because it's more like a lost and found case. Like, they didn't want to abandon it, and it's obvious that they didn't. How did the cops find out she was the one tossing in the trash can? They looked at the CCTV footage. So, like, there were cameras on that street, and they knew where they were operating. So like they checked the cameras and they saw that she actually threw it in the trash can. And then she got some friends of hers to go through the trash can, but apparently the garbage man cometh, and she couldn't get it back, so. Throwing it away, leaving it, same thing. Not really, because like when you throw it away, basically you gotta take it into your property first, right? So like if you throw it away, you pick it up, and now technically it's yours, and then you throw it to the garbage can, right? But if you leave it there, it's not of your business. It's like, well, the cops left it on my car, and I don't care about it. If they left it with her, it's abandoned. Again, it's not the same. Like, abandoned, at least according to the Romanian criminal code. I don't know how it's like in the United States. But here, abandoning means that you have the intent of not using it again, right? So, like, it's not abandoned as in you forgot about it or you want it back. Like, abandonment is when you genuinely don't need it and you put it in a place where other people can find it, right? And it's like... It's kind of obvious, like if you see an old furniture in front of someone's house that is sitting there for more than 3 days, like that can be abandonment. I don't even know if we have actually that legal definition. Like, it's obviously in jargon, like people talk about abandonment, but like the legality of it may be different. Sorry about that. The cops sound like they're making a massive case when there wasn't one. Yeah, the cops sound like their ass hurt because they have to pay for that now. Because apparently the printer is around $1,000, so it's bigger than the fine they gave. And it's their fault, right? Like, they lost it, and now they're being vindictive about it. And they're going after this young girl, which... You know, like you can say, well, she shouldn't have thrown it away, but like, you can understand. I mean, the cops give you a fine. You're not going to be nice with them, right? Like, if it's their responsibility to keep their shit. The question would be, though, like, okay, if I was to analyze this from a strictly legal point of view, what if it was a gun? Like, what if the police officer forgot his gun inside the car, right? And you pick up the gun and you throw it away. Is it a crime? And I still think it's not. I mean, technically you can say, well, you're endangering the public because you're giving them access to a weapon or whatever. So like the solution would be to just leave the gun where you found it, right? You just take the gun, you pick it out of your car, and you put it down. Yeah, I think like that would be more, because like you can't carry the gun, because then people will assume that, well, you're carrying a gun without a license, right? So yeah, like the situation is to just take the gun off your car and throw it on the ground and walk away. And it would literally be the same if the cop just dropped it from his pocket. Like, what is the difference if the cop drops the gun from his pocket or he forgets the gun next to another person? Like, what, if there's a person in the vicinity, it becomes their responsibility to bring the gun back? You don't get to commit crimes just because someone was mean to you. Yeah, but I don't think it's a crime. If a cop forgets something in your car, it's not your obligation to consume the gas and the time required to go and return the object to the cop. Because if you don't return the object to the cop, then it can be considered theft, right? So no, I don't think she committed any type of crime. I think the cop is at fault for getting the object. If you pick up a wallet on the street and throw it away, is it stealing then? No, because stealing requires the intent of making it your own. So like if you just pick up a wallet and you throw it in the trash can, I don't think it's stealing. I don't think like moving an object from one place to another is considered stealing. Will my game be safe to stream on YouTube? Absolutely not. Incredibly haram, no. No, she didn't do a crime, and I think it's human nature if people are dicks to you to be dicks to them in return. Right? Like, it's very rare that someone is a dick to you and you're going to be nice to them. That's the exception. You don't need license for a gun? What if it was a minigun, though? Huh? Sounds like she got framed. No, I don't think she got framed. Yeah, throwing the printer away is definitely not stealing. Like maybe there can be another crime that she has done, but definitely not stealing. Maybe, like there is a crime in Romania called Sushira bunligasit. Like, how the fuck do I translate this? But basically, like, taking possession of a lost good, right? So it's not stealing. Like, you're not taking it away from someone's pocket or someone's property. But like, you find a wallet on the ground, and instead of returning it to the police station, you just pocket it. I think it's like that, right? So like, you found the good, and you choose not to be a good Samaritan, and maybe like this is what she did, right? Like, this is something. But if that's the case, like, they're charging her for the wrong crime, and it's not going to hold in court. Like, you need to charge her properly, which is for taking possession of a lost item, right? So you can make this argument, but like, again, she didn't really take possession of it because she threw it away. Yeah, I think like the correct thing to do, there's a lot of shit like this in law where it's kind of like, how should I put it? It's such a small difference, and you think it wouldn't matter, but from a legal standpoint, it does. Like, here's an example that I know from the United States legislation. Let's say that the cop asks you to give their password for your phone. Now, this is interesting. If your phone is actually set up so that it requires your fingerprint or your facial scan, the cop can force you, like they can literally force you to put your finger on it, because a Supreme Court judge decided that that is the same like getting fingerprinted at the police station. So again, if a cop wants to go through your phone, and you have biometric data stored there where you need to use your fingerprint in order to unlock it, the cop can physically force you to put your finger on the phone and unlock it. And the judge said, yeah, that's fine. However, if you have like a normal password, then the police doesn't have a right to ask you for the password because you got the right to remain silent. So like, technically it's the same shit, right? Like, in one situation they can break into your phone legally, and in another one, if they do, it doesn't hold in court. So like, you have like these tiny differences, and it's very important for the law, because like a lot of lawyers will pick up on them, and they will not even judge the case. Like, they don't even care. Oh, we found hate speech on his phone. It's like, yeah, but you didn't have a right to go through his phone. So every time the minimum wage went up in Romania, so did the fines, but the media announced it only after the wages went up. I keep telling this to morons, and they refuse to accept. Like, for instance, my dad was very happy that the minimum wage goes up. And I'm like, Dad, you don't work for minimum wage. Why the fuck do you care? It's like, oh yeah, but empathy and shit. And it's like, look, I understand you grew up under communism, but come the fuck on. It's like, you drive a car, right? And then you get fines if it happens, right? Parking tickets, speeding violations. Like, you don't get them often, but like sometimes you do, right? So like, oh, I didn't think about that. Well, now you do, so stop supporting minimum wage increases, right? God. Jenny don't understand, like, people who don't work for minimum wage, but they're really opinionated about the subject. Because if I had a fingerprint lock on my house, it's free for them to search. No, that's different, though. That's different, right? So, technically, even if the cops have the keys to your house, unless they have a warrant, they can't enter. Like, even if the door to your house is open, they still can't enter it because they need a warrant. However, in your phone is different. A buddy's girlfriend left the gas station. Dude dropped a bunch of cash, tried to tell him. He said, fuck you, and flipped her off. She got into a car and drove off with it. Yeah, I mean, like, these types of situations would probably be very difficult to sue her over it. So, like, technically, you're supposed to take the money and put them to the police station, or you're supposed to take the money and leave it there, you know? Legalese is violent speech. It is. There's like another thing which is very weird in America. Buyer's remorse. Why, thank you for being a member for 21 months, JDA. Here's the problem. Like, I didn't know this, but apparently your right to remain silent in the United States, like, you actually have to invoke it. There was a case where a person collaborated with the cops, and then the cops asked them about, it was in regards with the murder, and he corroborates until the cops ask them something about the shell casings, and the guy just freezes and stops responding, right? And it turns out in the Supreme Court that his silence can actually be used in the court of law because he didn't invoke the First Amendment. The First Amendment. No, which one is it? The right to remain silent. Whatever. I'm not American. I don't know the Constitution by heart. But I do know that that amendment exists. So anyway, if you want to actually remain silent, which is you should in the United States, like in almost every single circumstance, because your legal system is not an inquisitorial one, it's a adversarial system. So every time you deal with the cops, you should always have a lawyer. Never talk to them without a lawyer. So, but you need to say that you're invoking your fifth. Yeah, your fifth. You need to be absolutely explicit about it, because otherwise it doesn't count. That is the dumbest thing. Yeah, I know it is dumb, right? Because like it affects people that are good faith, which is why in the legal system in the United States, you should assume that the cops are trying to fuck you over. Again, like it's an adversarial system, right? So it's like the cops and the prosecutors against you. So this is why you need a lawyer every single time, every interaction, unless it's like a parking violation or maybe like some sort of minor traffic shit. Like, then it's fine to talk with the cops, but yeah, if I was in the United States, I wouldn't talk to them under any circumstance without a lawyer. You cannot be compelled to testify against your spouse. Get married, boys. They actually had that plot in Better Call Saul. It was a good shit. Maximum silence is maximum violence. Ugh. Just a tip, banks no longer hold large quantities of money. That is true. Like, most people don't rob... like, the worst idea ever is to rob a bank now. And the thing is, the ones that do, they usually do it online with hacking and shit. But, like, actually going into a bank and asking for cash, like, most banks are now going cashless. Like, there are entire banks that are basically saying, yeah, we don't work with money, so... Yeah, you wouldn't be making a lot of cash. It's just the dumbest stuff you can possibly imagine. I've been held up by the police for an hour trying to force me to admit I had drugs in my car because a dog alerted them. Yeah, in that situation, what you gotta do is, look, officer, with all due respect, I invoke my right to remain silent, and I want the presence of a lawyer. And that's it. Like, you then refuse to cooperate. You gotta step out of the car if he asks you. You can ask him if you're free to leave. Like, that's very important because in the United States, they can't hold you at a traffic violation longer than what is considered a routine search. Again, like they can throw this out in court if they don't, right? So, like, if he holds you for 5 hours after you wanted to leave, the entire case is botched. So, basically, what you say is, like, yeah, I want to invoke my right to remain silent. I want to speak with an attorney. And am I free to leave? Now, you don't act like a sovereign citizen. It's like, am I being detained? Am I being detained? If they say you're free to leave, you leave. Right? If they don't say you're free to leave, then you stay there and you follow what the officer tells you because you are being detained. Yeah, the thing with consenting to searches, like a lot of people were asking, why would you not consent to a search? And it's like, okay, well, let's look at the pros and the cons, right? If you're innocent, the pros is that, well, the cop doesn't fuck with you, right? But what is a search? A search means that you probably have to wait there anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour, and the officer can even damage the car sometimes. Like he doesn't have to be gentle with it. And if he damages it, well, he's not going to pay for it. So you just gotta sit there as he's searching the car. Now, if it's a car and you have like other people using the car or other people that drove in the car, are you absolutely sure that they didn't have any marijuana or anything that may upset the officer, right? So some bottles of beer that were in the car or some shit, you know? It's like there's no advantage in allowing them to search. So like if he wants to search the car, again, you gotta say, officer, with all the respect, I do not consent to the search. I would require the presence of my lawyer. Now, if he searches the car, even without your consent, you don't fight him. But the case is going to be thrown in court because he got a body cam and it's obvious that you didn't consent to the search and he didn't have a warrant. So, oh, they will pay for it now? Oh, okay. Because I heard cases where they didn't. And it's so fucking dumb, you know? It's like you're just minding your own business and they start ripping off your car and it's like, oops. And again, like usually people that don't know the law and people that are good faith are the ones that get fucked by this. Because it's like the people that are criminals and the people that are bad faith, they usually like know to tell the cop to fuck off. So, how is it a bad take, Top Cat? You're talking about Asmongold. I see. The search needs a warrant, yes, but the cop can also search your car if you agree with it, right? So if the cop, and they usually get trained about this at the police station. They know how to talk with people so that they can get the permission. There will be something like, hey, mind if I look around? Mind if I search your car? Or mind if I, you know? Like, they're very friendly about it. They're very nice. And most people are like, yeah, sure, go look around. And that's when he doesn't need a warrant anymore because you consented. Civil asset forfeiture. In America, cops can seize your cash with no crime committed. Yeah, they can do that, I heard. Like, especially if you have large numbers of cash with you. Like, if you have a suitcase with money, they can actually seize that from you. And you have to prove that you actually had a reason to have that amount of cash with you. Yeah, it's very weird. Like, there's a lot of legislation that people don't even know it exists. Like, for instance, I think it's in Canada and many other nations are doing it. If you want to leave the country, like, let's say you want to emigrate, right? So you want to move from Canada, you want to move to Europe. And you sell everything. You sell your house, you sell your car, you sell everything that you have in Canada. When you leave Canada, you gotta pay a tax. Like, the government takes a percentage of your stuff when you're leaving. It's fucking insane. It's like, dude, am I leaving the noble's land? Like, what's happening here? It's like, why do you need to pay a tax for it? How do you even justify it? Because usually it's like, oh, to pay for the roads and the military, right? But you don't even live there anymore. It's like you don't even get the welfare anymore. You're leaving, right? Why do you have to pay an exit tax? They can do searches without warrants if they have probable cause. Yeah. Usually the probable cause is like, oh, I think I smell beer. I think I smell marijuana. Yeah, America has an expat tax. Many countries do and people don't know about it, but what's interesting is that sometimes governments, when they notice that people are leaving their shithole, they make the expat tax even higher. So, let's talk about Asmongold, my main man. So, my main man got banned after apologizing. He's also kicked from his own company. Like, this is a thing that's happening in America right now. You know, you start your own company, and then they kick your ass from the company. Like, does that make any fucking sense? Right? Like, almost no loyalty whatsoever. And of course, you know, like, he stepped down. Like, they had a conversation, and it's kind of like when you have a couple. Like, this is actually something that I had in World of Warcraft, right? Like, there was this chick, really hot, smoking hot. And she seduces the mage from my guild. And after a while, like, you realize that, my god, like, she pussy whipped that mage into submission. The mage comes out and is like, we decided, that we don't masturbate anymore because masturbation is like cheating. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you mental? Like, so we decide, like you spoke with her, and were you the one that brought it up? No. Oh, I see. How does we decided work though? Like, how is? So it's kind of like that, you know? It's like Asmongold spoke with the guy, and it's like, we decided that it's best for me to step down. I see. Interesting. Now, here's what I find absolutely fascinating about it, right? apparently, this is what I found out in people's comment sections. Apparently, there's this chick, Melanie Mack, right? And Melanie Mack is a Christian. She doesn't really appreciate the LGBT community. She's not a strong ally, chat. If you're the LGBT and you're counting on Melanie Mack, she's going to desert you. She's going to leave you out. And Asmongold didn't like that, and he condemned her, disavowed. It was like ringing the bell. Shame, shame. How can you not be an ally? Everyone has to be an ally. This is why you were born. It is your purpose on Earth. If you're American, you must serve. You must serve the allies. Very important. Like, the entire nation is built around the concept of allyship. The intersectionality beckons, Melody. You have to be there. You have to serve. So he makes a video, right? People didn't like that, especially Melody Max fans. No apology. For some reason, Asmongold didn't want to become a better human being. There was no apology, no remorse, no guilt, no heavy burden on his heart. He just dissed it on Melody Mack. He casted the accusation. He shook his head in disbelief, issuing the disavowal. And that was that. He went to bed and slept like a baby. But then, chat, he says just one thing about Islam. He says like one tiny thing about Islam, and all of a sudden the wrath of God descended upon him. Hassan Piker leading the charge. Everyone looking at Twitch, and it's like, Twitch, smite thy infidel. And God, Allah appeared in a vision, sent the Archangel Gabriel into the dreams of Asmongold, and Gabriel went, Asmongold, what the fuck are you doing? How can you blaspheme like this, you filthy infidel? We will smite you so you not blaspheme again. And Asmongold immediately realized the wrongness of his ways. He went online, turned on the camera, and said, I have sinned. My heart is heavy with guilt. I am now going to repent. I will clean my room. I will clean my room because Archangel Gabriel saw the filth and the disgust that I live in and the blasphemy that I said would not go unpunished. So basically, Islam's strong, powerful as usual, while Christianity, I'm sorry, Melody Mac, you gotta take the back seat. Gotta take the back seat, Melody Mac, and you need to realize that you are weak. And you turn the other cheek, while the strong Hassan Piker didn't turn the other cheek. He went directly to Twitch. He went to the source of power that compelled Asmongold to become a better human being. Sanran, a reproductive process in which monsters produce eggs that develop inside the human female host. This act is often followed by the female experiencing excessive amount of dopamine released in the brain. No fucking way that's true. That's actually really interesting. The problem that the left has now is that they are very upset that people are upset that Asmongold apologized, right? Like, there was this guy, this leftist, which literally said, it's like Asmongold was trying to improve himself as a better human being. I love this shit. Man, every single time I hear a leftist, like, improve yourself as a human being. What the fuck does that mean? Improve yourself as a human being. Know how to fuck more bitches? Because, like, that's the improvement, right? Creating offspring, this is, like, literally the purpose on Earth. Every single biological organ or organism is there to fuck and reproduce, right? So, like, to improve yourself as a better human being means to become a fuck machine. Is that what they're saying? It's like Asmongold was becoming a better fuck machine because he was doing the apology? Like, I'm generally trying to understand here. Help me out, chat. What does it mean to become a better human being? Better at what? Like, what? Huh? I keep hearing the left. It's like, oh, better. And by the way, is there like a ceiling? Is there like a diminishing return? Like, you have become such a better human being that after a while you just can't improve? Like, you reached your potential? Kind of like Gohan going to Namek, unlocking his potential, and it's like, well, that's it. It's unlocked. Better human being. Like, and by the way, why is there always human being? Like, why can't you become a better succubus or some shit? You know, like, Do they even think about what they're saying? It's like better human being. And what is the advantage? Like what is the end goal here? It's like, okay, I'm a better human being. Now what? What do I get? Nothing. Okay. But if I get nothing, why did I waste all my energy for? Is it just to entertain you, fucker? It's like, was that the point? You know, like, your life wasn't better unless I became a better human being for you? Like, I do this for you? Am I your fucking slave? Why am I doing this? Min City level 80? Going to the new game plus, yeah. It's kind of interesting, though, right? Like, here's the thing. So, Hassan Piker has a hoodie on a stream. Like, if you want to talk to me about being Islamophobic, I think, like, the Houthis have a more prominent track record, historically speaking, at doing bad things to Arabs than Asmongold does, you know? But like, for some fucking reason, it's like, it is allowed when Hassan does it. By the way, I don't think I have ever seen a man in my life wanting to be a person of color more than Hassan. Like, this is probably Hassan's weakness. Like, this is what keeps him up at night. No, seriously, chat. I think Hassan Piker is frustrated for every second of his day that he is white. And people consider him white. He wants to be oppressed. It's like he's begging, like, Allah, why did you make me white? I needed you to make me a minority. I needed, but like, unfortunately, you bestowed so much privilege upon me, and I can't go on Twitch and talk to my people properly. Like, no, seriously, just like, look at him. Look at how he's tweeting. Every single day, he's like, again, he goes to Mexico, and it's like, oh, they were picking on me because they knew I'm third. No one fucking knows that, Hassan. Like, there is no fucking way you tell me that you went to Mexico, got in a cab, and people were, he's third. That is, no. Hassan, no. No. They bullied you because you're an American. And you look rich. And they were like, wow, this guy is loaded. That's pretty much it. He's like a reverse Uncle Ruckus. Hassan Piker is the reverse Uncle Ruckus, I'm telling you. They thought he was Greek? That's still white. Hassan looks Mexican. No, man, Hassan looks wealthy as fuck. He's got, like, brand clothing. He's got his hair. I bet he smells of aftershave. He's insanely rich. Looks like a fucking tourist. Probably looks around out of place. Doesn't hablo la español. And then wonders, like, why taxi drivers are trying to scam him. I don't fucking know, Hassan. You go to tourist spots and it's like, oh, this is a tourist trap and people are trying to scam me as if I'm a tourist. It must be because they know I'm a Turk. Yeah, sure. This gringo's heckin' rich. Yeah, look at his fucking watch. I mean, again, first of all, poor people don't have watches, believe it or not. We have cell phones. Like, you do not need a watch in 2024 when you can literally whoop up your phone and tell what time it is. So any person that has a watch probably has more money than they need. And when the watch is the size of a chicken egg, then you're probably fucking wealthy. He's lucky he didn't get kidnapped. I don't think you get kidnapped in Mexico if you go into, like, tourist hotspots, right? You usually get kidnapped if you go off the beaten path. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert, but I did hear, like, there is a saying called, what do they call it? Not terror tourism. They actually have a word for it. Where you go to Mexico and you get kidnapped. I know there's cases like that, but it usually happens to women, and it usually happens to people that go off the beaten path, right? So, like, if you actually go and you travel in tourist areas, like, the chances of you getting kidnapped is pretty low. Pretty low. I have a watch, but it was from my father. Well, don't wear it in poor neighborhoods, because people will think you're loaded. Or they will think you're Turkish, according to Hassan Piker. Watches are just jewelry. Correct. You know what else is jewelry today? PlayStation. I'm not even kidding you. Like, if you want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, it's because you want to show off that you're rich. It's the only reason. Like, there's no games for it. There's no purpose for it. No. But you know, it looks good on a table, right? It looks as if you have the money to buy one. It's the same with an iPhone. Like, there's literally no reason to buy an iPhone unless you're VTubing, or maybe like some other very niche thing. But if you're just a random user, there is no need to get an iPhone. Unless you want to impress a lady with it. Unless it's like a piece of jewelry. That's it. There are smartwatches that got... Okay, smartwatches to me make absolutely no sense. It's like the dumbest invention ever, and people buy it, so I guess it's not that dumb. But why would you get the smartwatch? There is absolutely no reason, none whatsoever, to get a smartwatch. Like, let me think. First of all, the screen is very tiny, right? You can barely see shit. And at this point, why not just use your smartphone? There was like that lady at the European Union, the most cringe advert that I ever seen. She had two watches, chat. She was dual-wielding watches. One was a smartwatch, and the other one was a normal watch. And I'm like, bitch, at this point, pick one. You know what? Put one on your leg as well. Do it like the Russians did when they invaded Europe. De la Nistru până la Tisa, davai ceas, davai palton. It's basically from the Nistru to the Tisa, give me your watch, give me your cloak. That was the Russian army, the Red Army, right? And they had like watches all the way up their leg. Because back then they were actually very valuable. So like they were plundering. It was a war crime, chat. It was a fucking war crime. Yeah, like they would have like their entire arms filled with watches, and they would have their legs filled with watches as well. But they didn't give a fuck. So... So, like, that lady was at the European Union, triggering the Eastern Europes from, how does the left call it? Generational trauma. Yes, generational trauma. Good smartwatches can detect heart arrhythmia. You know what? Fine. If you're wearing a smartwatch for the purpose of monitoring your heartbeat, okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. But if you're just wearing one to read text messages, to browse Facebook, to read email, no, fuck off. With a smartwatch, you can leave your phone in your pocket and just check your watch. Oh, come on, dude, like, the level of inconvenience. Oh, no. Just take your phone out. Just leave your phone in your pocket. I use my smartwatch to make a call using voice command. No, come on. No. I'm sorry to hear that you went blind in your left eye, yeah. I will help Asmongold regrow his hair with the power of love. Is this what Kirsche said? Is it? Yeah, no, like the thing with his apology, he managed to piss off everyone. He pissed off the right-wingers for apologizing, and he pissed off the left-wing for seeing that his own community doesn't agree with the apology, because of course you got it. You know, like you need to understand, since people don't go to church anymore, we need to go to social media companies now, and we need to ask Twitch, what is allowed and what isn't allowed to think. And Twitch says, look, if you want to get a hoodie and talk to them on stream, we allow that, but if you don't have positive things to say about Palestine, then shut the fuck up. We don't care, you know, just shut the fuck up. It's not allowed. You can't express that. Like, I know, it's not dangerous, it's not hate speech, it's not, no, but we decide that you're going to shut the fuck up because you're our little bitch, and we're going to look what you say on Twitter, and we're going to look what you say on YouTube, and we're going to stalk the living shit out of you, and if we find that you have any opinion, anything that we disagree with, we're going to take away your livelihood. Because we're a moral company, we support the LGBT, we're inclusive, we're diverse, and you get the fuck off. That's what you get to do. You're a little bitch, right? Because as long as we support the correct things, and as long as we say the right stuff, and we have a deer as our trust and safety council representative, we own your ass. And the left likes the fact that we own your ass. It's kind of slavery with extra steps, or slavery of the mind. And the left loves us for it. They worship us for it, and we like being worshipped and loved. You know, eat the rich, just not the Amazon CEO, because the Amazon CEO is with them. Is the good guy. He promotes the Sam Piker. Oh, fucking God. It's God. I really hate this culture. Not to mention, like, all of the awful takes that you get to see. Oh, but like free speech is from the government. That doesn't apply to thought. I'm not talking about the First Amendment, you fucking moron. I'm talking about the concept of liberty and freedom. Why would you, as a citizen, want to be censored by the phone company? Do you get a hard-on for this? Is this what you like? And you're like, oh, the government can't censor you, but the government can ask the phone company to censor you, and that's fine. Oh, I see. Wow. If only the founding fathers could have thought about that. To be honest, you know, like, the founding fathers did think about a lot of things. Like, for instance, shall not be infringed. And despite the fact that they wrote that as if it's for a moron, you still have Democrats, so... But it's also the fact that it's like, okay, so, he's wrong. Alright, but like, why can't people be wrong anymore? Like, if he's really that offensive, shouldn't he just lose subscribers? Like, if you say, you know, like Boogie, for instance, right? Like, Boogie does something which is not politically incorrect, lies about cancer. What a shitty thing to do, you know? But, like, I guess, like, Boogie thought one day, oh, well, this is some nice way that I can get some money. Why not? Lies about cancer. What happens? He loses subscribers. Doesn't lose sponsorships or anything. No, he loses subscribers. Not a lot. But okay, you know, like, if people are willing to put up with it, I have nothing against, like, I wouldn't want Boogie to be banned. If there is a person that wants to watch Boogie, let them watch Boogie. It's like, is that right to watch whatever the fuck they want? Lying about cancer is the worst of the worst. I think you can go even lower than that. Like there was this guy on Twitch, and this was like back during 2016 era, where it was like worshipping people with disabilities. Like it came and went really fast, but like there was a time when everyone on Twitter would post their disabilities. Like there were more people with disabilities on Twitter than I think there were people in real life. And it was like you would go on someone's bio and it was like ADHD, autism, bipolar disorder, Tourette syndrome. You know, like they're just like a sausage of disabilities. Anyway, so there was this guy, and the journalists promoted them. Because, like, again, it was the worshipping. It was like acceptance or tolerance. No, it was worshipping. It's like, oh my God, this guy has a disability. Oh. Right. So this guy apparently was in a wheelchair, right? And he was streaming, playing video games and shit. And one day, he forgets to turn off his stream, and Jesus made a miracle, chat. I think maybe Melody Mac was praying for him or something, because he got up. He got up and he started walking around, you know, after finishing his subathon, after getting all those donations, the man just started walking. I think the donations healed him. I think that's what happened. He just started walking around. The cool thing is, like, his facial expression when he realized that the stream is still going. Yeah, he walked. He was fascinating. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. No, I think, like, he always claimed he has legs. Like, that was the problem. I think he had, like, the claim was that he has spinal injury and he can't walk. Hello, Dragonclaw. Was it like DSP when he realized the stream was... No, DSP actually acted quite calm and collected compared to this guy. Let me see if I can find the YouTube video though. It's quite old. I remember like seeing it. So streamer walks fake wheelchair. I think this is the one. Yeah, the Twitch streamer that faked his disability. 3.8 million views. Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about the Twitch streamer that faked a disability. Faking disabilities is wrong, okay? Don't do it. It's really bad. Yeah, it's such a shit, it's such a dick move. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Let's see how right I am. Let's see how right I am, huh?
So this story is one that I've covered on stream a couple times. I find this whole saga very, very interesting. I wonder how many like OG Twitch viewers we have in the chat right now, because this is vintage. This is like a fine wine of internet cringe and drama. This was like the first big Twitch drama story. This man right here.
Later on the 5th of April 2013, something would happen while Zillion was streaming, proving this Reddit comment correct, whilst ending Zillion's entire career in the process.
I want you guys to understand that it was a different time back then. Basically, if you had someone claiming a disability, you could not go against that person. You could not doubt the authenticity. You could not demand to see medical receipts. If you said you do not believe them, then you would have been made into a pariah.
Had just seen, and seemingly in a state of panic, Zillion joined the discussion by both gaslighting and lying to his audience about what had just.
So how do you even come back from that? Like, okay.
Maybe I don't want to follow you.
God, this clip is classic.
Right, look at this. This is where he starts walking. This is where he starts walking. He wills himself in.
Out and follow me.
Maybe I don't want to follow you.
God, this clip is classic.
Our dog. Oh my god. We took our dog, like to the fish shop today because the dog loved.
The only thing I hate is that you don't get to see the chat.
Just.
I can't believe it. Oh my god!
And I was like, oh, this is
Anything is possible!
If you believe that actions speak louder than
And then a
words,
poltergeist
Zillion turning his camera
tilts the
downwards to
camera.
hide his empty wheelchair was basically
We
the
weren't
same
meant to
as
see
him
that.
saying, I've just exposed myself doing something that I definitely shouldn't have been doing. However, the chat will
See, the thing is though, what I would have done if you're going to fake something like this, you don't have to go all the way, you know. You don't have to say that you're wheelchair bound. You can say that you have like some spinal injury and it's very, very painful for you to walk, right? And then you can justify the miracle. Why do you even want disabilities? Even when minor ones, you don't have full motion in your left arm and side. It's not, look, it's not that people want disabilities. People want the attention of being perceived to have a disability. Because you can be a cheeky little shit to others, and when people are mean to you, it's like, hey, why are you mean to this person? Don't you know that they have a disability? Right? It's like the kid that goes in the playground and everyone is kissing their ass because, well, he's got like a disability and then you can't be mean to them. And other people which don't have the disability, they're like, well, why can't I be the center of attention? Almost half of Mexico's population is white. There's no way they just assumed he was a Turk because of his skin color. Of course not. Of course, but I'm telling you, the man, it's like, it's his one wish. If Hassan Piker collected the Dragon Balls and summoned Shenrong, his wish would be that he would be a person of color. He just doesn't want to have the privilege. Well, actually, no. He wants to have the privilege, but he doesn't want other people to perceive him as he has the privilege of a straight white man. So, you know, it's the ideology and everything. It's like... We're still talking about Hassan. There's a lot to discuss about Hassan. My God, I could make, I think, like a 3-hour subathon and just talk about Hassan. Just nonstop. And if Hassan would make a video response about me, it would be an empty chair with a microphone. V, we need Dungeons and Dragons with Sargon, you and Arch, or Cyberpunk. By the way, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, I fixed Rags, chat. I finally fixed Rags. Not fixed as in castrated, but fixed as in checked his thinking. So for those of you who don't know, when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, I had the severe displeasure of playing Dungeons and Dragons with Rags. He argued with me over the fact that the Dead Space remake isn't woke. And I'm like, the fuck it isn't. The fuck it isn't. They casted the main character love interest as a hag. They hag-maxed that bitch. They went around and found posters with white men scientists and replaced them with hag-maxed black women that have prosthetics instead of arms and legs. And it's like, you know, the transgender bathroom and all. It's like, why would you do this in a remake? Like, why would you spend resources to remake posters? That's actually expensive, by the way. It's not like really expensive. But you need to hire another artist. They need to do all the concept again. Why even bother? Why even do it if it's not for ideological reasons? It's to spread the message. Now, I'm not saying that Dead Space is the wokest game, right? We didn't get to the lands of pronouns yet. We didn't have, like, the main character, hello, I identify as non-binary, I'm American, I vote Democrat. We didn't get to that level. But it was still woke, right? It's kind of like if you have Christians making a game, and all of a sudden you get God blesses everywhere, and you get, like, a little prayer here and there, and, you know, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, that game has Christian influences, right? And Rags was resisting. He was resisting the truth. He's like, oh, I don't care. Oh, it's not that woke. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But it seems that I have set him on a journey of discovery, chat. Every night he was thinking about my words. Every night he had relived that conversation over and over. Until he finally made the video. Look at this shit. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Someone told me, V, you need to watch this. I'm like, fuck, dude. 1 hour and 22 minutes of Rags? I played D&D with him. I don't want to relive that experience. No. The man takes 50 minutes to say what a normal person can say in one. No. Oh, but V, you can play it on double the speed. That's still... And it's still... 50 minutes of Rags. No, thank you. God. Is it me no speaking English, me no do math. Anyway. He's basically saying that, yeah, giving concessions to the woke is a bad idea because they don't care about the product, they care about the culture war. And it's like, Rags, get into the time machine and bring that Rags into the conversation with me and D&D so it doesn't fucking frustrate me. Because yes, that's what I was trying to say then. It's like, the remake of Dead Space isn't bad, but the wokeness of it is taking me out. It's like, it's a little bit immersion break. It removes from the product rather than add to it. You know, if they were going to make new art, they could have done something that actually works with the game rather than that works with the message. Just to remind me of, it's like, diversity is good, diversity is good, inclusivity is amazing, inclusivity is amazing. You have to like it, you have to like it. If you don't like it, you're a bigot. If you don't like it, you're a bigot. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. It's not a Rorschach test. But anyway, right? He did agree with me eventually. Who do you want me to fix next, chat? Should I go with Mahler? Huh? Do I need to get Mahler to play D&D? What bothers me about in this situation is that me and others found some awesome content creators because of Asmongold. I'll tell you this, though. I'll tell you this. Asmongold getting banned is actually good for him. I know it sounds ridiculous what I'm saying, but hear me out. He has upset a lot of unhinged people. I mean, it's fucking Twitch. By default, everyone is unhinged. But in the case of Asmongold, like, there were people with big boners wanting to fuck him ever since he started talking about right-wing talking point. Like, you can't talk right-wing on Twitch. Like, believe it or not, I think Asmongold is the most right-wing influential person on Twitch. So, there were people that had big cocks and wanted to have a reason to penetrate him. And now he gave them the reason. Now they don't give a shit about Gaza, about Hamas. They don't care. They don't give a, it's like, oh, now is the time. The fucking has presented itself. The opportunity, right? Debo shkushi. If he would have gotten banned, they would have started digging up his past. They would have started combing his social media. It's like, oh my god, he said this. How can we allow? How can we allow? How can we allow? You know, like this. But since he got banned, they're cooling off now. They're cooling off. He's got like a 2 weeks vacation, cleans his house. He's already a millionaire. It's like, it's not going to influence him that much. Not to mention now, he's got in the media, everyone is talking about him. The thing with the apology, I generally don't know. See, this is the problem. I can't tell if it's genuine or not. I genuinely do not know if he actually wants to apologize or not because of the culture we're in. Like, he actually risks losing his channel over opinions. So, is he apologizing because, like, someone told him to? I mean, most of these streamers, they do have, like, networks and shit, and they may say, look, if you don't apologize, we're dropping you. So, I generally can't tell, you know? It's like a business thing. It's like, you gotta do it. This is part of business. Like a content creator, especially the size of Asmongold, it's a business. Like, there are companies, like restaurants that make less money than him. So they're like, he's a corporation. Like, he's the brand. He's the entity. And of course, he's working with other people. He's working with networks, with influencers, with people popping up. And maybe one of them told him, it's like, hey, you want collabs? Better apologize. Better say you're sorry, boy. You know, this is not Melody Mac we're talking about. This is like some actual important shit. You can't blaspheme like that. Fix dev next. Either definition works. I'm not going with dev in a stream again. Jesus fucking Christ. The reason the CEO of Saber Interactive responded to Asmongold's video was because he was reacting to a Legendary Drops video. A content creator that Asmon found a while back who makes good video essays. Yes. He reacted to my videos and to Arch's. It's obvious he had to talk with the association and his businesses. Yeah, no, I definitely think he did. What I love the most about his apology, right? Like hold on, let me show you. You can tell he is serious. So I was laughing my ass off when I saw it, because, like, as a content creator, you get to know this thing, right? Because you're filming every day. So when you see someone else filming, you're like, hey. Okay, so, this is, like, the normal way he streams. And he's got studio lighting, right? Like, the lights are coming into his face and stuff, and, This is like his normal setup. But when you look at the apology, the lights aren't on. We get to see more of the background. It's almost like, I guess like he's trying to look more relatable. Which is why I think there's a PR firm. I may be wrong with this, but this is my analysis. I genuinely think there is a PR firm that told him, look, don't stream with your usual setup, right? Like, do not turn on the studio lights. Do not do anything. Just have, like, a picture, like a big thing with your back room, right? Like, just show that your room is messy. And have it, like, during the daylight. Like, have, like, some sunlight in your face or something like that. In order to look relatable, right? Like, you don't want to look like a professional streamer now. You want to look like your average Joe that messed up. And we want you to have this apology. Now, again, I may be wrong with this, but I generally think this is what's happening. I think it's like a PR team that's coaching him on what to say and do. Ah. Henry Cavill says that Warhammer role is the greatest privilege of his career. Okay. Why are people sending me this? Yeah, Starforge. We have spoken to Asmongold and have mutually agreed to part ways. Starforge unequivocally rejects all forms of discrimination, hatred, and violence. Where can I find a company that doesn't, though? Because, like, you're literally the same like every other bitch. You know, like, I want the company that just so, you know what? We actually do want to promote violence in video games. Because, like, what an entertaining company. We like hard rock, we want violence, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We want that shit. And we're exclusive. We're only allowing people that like our music. That's the type of people we allow. Why can't we have companies like that? I'm also curious, like, what exactly did Asmongold say regarding Melody Mac? Because apparently there is a level of hatred you're allowed, right? So, like, if you can take that but apply it to Palestine, like, maybe then it would be fine, right? Because no one got upset when he said shit about Melody Mac. So say the same shit, right? Like, just exactly the same stuff, but, like, apply it to a different context. Making you remove stuff or get denial of paid off service is editorial policy. Yeah, and it's so fucking fake, right? Because, like, you're watching Twitch expecting that you see a genuine person with their genuine thoughts and beliefs, but you get someone that's heavily editorialized. And this is happening to all the big streamers. I can no longer say X should be a payment processor if satire can get you shut down. I don't know if X shuts down people for satire. From what I know is that if you do satire, you just have to market as such. So, like, you need to be absolutely certain that people know it's satire. As for X being a payment processor, I think it should. Like, the more the better. Even if X isn't, like, going to be 100% free, and I don't think it will, because you gotta rely on other payment processors, and you gotta rely on other, you know, people down the chain. It's still better to have more competition. And I don't think, like, X is going to be as bad as Stripe is, you know, or like, who deplatformed Nigel Farage, like an actual politician. Comments that refer to Melody Mac are being deleted on the apology video. Oh, I see. Why doesn't it surprise me? Why does it not surprise me? I'll make a video about it, if this is the case. It's interesting. Why doesn't he just leave them there? Like, deleting them makes it people even more aware. He's probably going to be upset if I make a video about it. He's never going to respond to my videos ever again. but look, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's like, why are you deleting the Christian comments? Why don't you want to be a better human being regarding the Christians? Anyway, right. I'll probably end it here. I need to go upload the videos for my other channel, so thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll upload the